Blue Devil gang shit, you already know what it is. Yeah.
Alright, check this out. You guys are back on the episode of Blue Devil Reactions, and what we have going on today, it is a video titled The Story of Westside Verdugo, most notorious gang of San Bernardino. Now, the reason we're dropping videos like this is because yesterday we did a video of Diablo from banning, and you guys ran it up. You guys ran up the comments, ran up the likes. People like it, so we're gonna do some more, right? So run up this one, run up the likes, the comments, share it. You already know. But check this out. Before we press play on this video, if you don't follow us on the Hater World, go over there. Right after this video, we dropped a video yesterday titled "Little Rob doesn't like the new Chicano rap" or something like that. Man, it got everybody crying. It got everybody crying, complaining, whining. Listen, every man got their opinion. That's my opinion. Don't worry about how I feel. Worry about how you feel. Like, don't try to convince me otherwise. You feel what I'm saying? Like, and I didn't even say nothing bad. I simply said my feelings. That is it. So go watch the video. Some about Little Rob. And other than that, if you don't follow us on Instagram, hit me up directly at the Hater World, and also follow our media page, Hater World Media. We have 4 moderators that will post daily community news, hood news, urban news, hip hop news, you name it, right? It's all up there. Other than that, very last update. Hater World Uncensored. I haven't went live in the last couple of days, but I will go live tonight. Alright, 8 p.m. Pull up Hater World Uncensored. Oh yeah, one last thing. I'm working on putting together members only footage. Old videos from 2007, 2008. Also looking to put behind the scenes footage. I'm working on all that right now, and I must just say this right now. This footage is not to be leaked. All right, I will strike down anybody that releases the footage. It is only for members, so make sure you become a member. With all that being said, let's watch this video, The Story of Westside Verdugo, most notorious gang of San Bernardino. Let's get it. As a matter of fact, let's get you guys a Blue Devil reaction. Let's go.
Welcome to the War Stories. In this episode, I'll be discussing the Verdugo gang. Westside Verdugo is a Mexican-American gang located in San Bernardino, California. They have been around since the 1950s. Their area of geographical influence is the west side of San Bernardino, west of Interstate 215. The gang is also referred to as Mount Vernon because of it being one of the main streets that run through their neighborhood. There are several different cliques or subsets of Westside Verdugo. Westside Verdugo has over 1,000 members and is the largest gang in San Bernardino County. Their primary activities include narcotic sales, robbery, extortion, and murder.
Damn.
San Bernardino's west side is a flatland.
But that's every gang though. Every gang has the same type of get down. Murder, robbery, extortion, you name it. Almost every gang, bro. Don't matter what gang it is.
Wooden houses, small markets, and vacant lots that has always been separate from the rest of the city. In the 1960s, the 215 freeway, with off-ramps only heading east, strangled the business district there, which was an extremely active area. The Santa Fe train repair shop employed more than 1,000 people, most of them being Westside residents. Men also worked at the Kaiser Steel factory in Fontana or at the Norton Air Force Base. During this time,
when my grandfather came down from Mexico, I've said this before, my family landed in South Central, you know, and half of the family moved to Ontario, right? My grandfather worked at that mill right there in Fontana. I don't think it's there no more. I haven't been to Fontana in a while, but I don't think that mill is active for a very long time. But that's like where everybody in that area worked. The Kaiser Mill. Let's go.
Fontana or at the Norton Air Force Base. During this time, gangs were a strong presence in the neighborhood. But there were other avenues and activities for kids to be involved in. In the early 1980s, breakdancing was very popular on the West Side and kept many kids out of trouble. The neighborhood would unite against outside threats. Then in 1984, Kaiser Steel Factory closed, laying off dozens of neighborhood men. In 1984, Kaiser Steel Factory closed, laying off dozens of neighborhood.
1984. God damn. All right. At least I found something out today.
Men. In 1992, Norton Air Force Base also closed, taking away 10,000 jobs.
Damn.
Then Santa Fe Railroad took its shop and over 1,000 jobs and relocated to Kansas.
Damn.
New drugs then arrived in the barrio. In the early 1980s, the thing that destroyed many families was PCP. PCP is the animal tranquilizer that makes humans numb to pain.
Listen, I'm not gonna lie. When I was young, I've tried it all, right? All. The one thing that I wanted to try and I never could get my hands on it was Sherm. That was one drug that I remember. I remember clearly that one day I was trying to find it, get my hands on it. I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad I didn't. I am glad. I still remember I told my homeboy, hey, let's go try to find this. And we went hunting it down. I wanted to dip a joint. And I never found it. And I'm sort of glad that it didn't go down, because I'm the type of person where I get hooked very easily. You know, I want more and more and more. So I'm sort of glad. Let's go.
Crack came in the late 1980s. Kids dealing dope replaced men with union jobs. The youth stopped breakdancing and formed gang cliques and feuded over street corners. Families that fled the LA gang and crack nightmare brought even more of it to San Bernardino. Violence skyrocketed. Many Westside youths went to prison. Among them were Johnny and Gilbert Agudo, who were brothers. They began using PCP, became hardened gang members, and were in and out of prison. Johnny became president of the 7th Street Locos, and Gilbert became the president of Lil Counts. New immigrants began moving in. They took the jobs that neighborhood youth.
There's little markets like that all over San Bernardino in the middle of the hood. Little ass markets like that.
Once had. Old-time Mexican-American families felt invaded. Meanwhile, the Mexican mafia started imposing new rules on Southern California Latino street gangs. Throughout the 90s, the Mexican mafia directed gangs to tax drug dealers in their barrios. In 1999, Johnny Agudo was arrested with guns as he prepared to carry out an ordered killing. To reduce his prison sentence, Johnny told police that Salvador had guns and drugs at his home.
Wow. So this fool was on the way to go do a assassination, got caught and ratted. Like, damn. I hope it's not true what I've heard. We're gonna find out right now.
He told police that Salvador had guns and drugs at his home. Salvador Hernandez is a high-ranking member of the Mexican mafia who controlled Westside drug dealings. Shortly after, Salvador was arrested with guns and drugs and went to prison for the possession. Salvador and the Mexican mafia put a green light, which is a death warrant, on Johnny's head.
So not only did he rat, but he ratted on an important person. God damn. Like, he must not value his life. Like, you think that'd be one guy. Well, listen, don't rat at all. You already know what you step into. Be a man and deal with it, right? All right. But come on, bro. If you're going to tell, and then you go tell on a guy that can potentially put a green light on you or end your family, like, why would you do that?
A gang that doesn't execute a member green lighted by the mafia faces a green light on all its members.
Facts.
Allegedly, Gilbert.
So what he just said, I don't think we caught it, but he said, once you got a green light like that, from what he said, I am not confirming any of this. Allegedly from whatever this guy's name is, the hood news guy or whatever. Let me see what his name is. I'll tell you right now what his name is. Hood War Stories, all right? Right there in the bottom corner. Hood War Stories is the one saying that once you get a green light, you can no longer kick it with the hood. If not, the hood will get a green light.
Lighted by the mafia, faces a green light on all its members. Allegedly, Gilbert Argudo had the keys to the Westside. At first, Gilbert volunteered to kill his own brother.
Wow.
While Johnny Argudo was in prison, Luis Mendoza took over the 7th Street Locos. His cousin Froilan controlled most of 7th Street's guns. Johnny Argudo was released from prison on July 6, 2000. Luis Mendoza offered to kill him if Gilbert didn't. Luis Mendoza and Johnny were childhood best friends. They grew up together and both established the 7th Street Locos. On the night of July 8th, in the year 2000, Luis put together a 4-man hit squad, armed with guns and bulletproof vests, when they met with the Argudo brothers in a driveway off a duplex on Vine Street. The men then got into a heated argument over the presidency of the 7th Street Locos and the green light placed on Johnny by the Mexican mafia. Luis then pulled out a gun and opened fire on Johnny, killing him instantly. At approximately the same time, Froilan drew one of his 2 guns, a small Uzi with a 30-round clip, and fired rapidly. Gilbert Argudo was shot in the head at point-blank range. Froilan was shot in the legs. While on the ground, Froilan started shooting at Marcelino Luna. He died as well. His brother Anthony Luna was shot dead as he ran from the scene.
Wait. How did they end up shooting each other? Weren't they there to kill the rat? I don't get it, bro. Let's rewind it.
On the night of July 8th, in the year 2000, Luis put together a 4-man hit squad, armed with guns and bulletproof vests, when they met with the Argudo brothers in a driveway off a duplex on Vine Street. The men then got into a heated argument over the presidency of the 7th Street Locos and the green light placed on Johnny by the Mexican mafia. Luis then pulled out a gun and opened fire on Johnny, killing him instantly. At approximately the same time, Froilan drew one of his 2 guns, a small Uzi with a 30-round clip, and fired rapidly. Gilbert Argudo was shot in the head at point-blank range. Froilan was shot in the legs. While on the ground, Froilan started shooting at Marcelino Luna. He died as well. His brother Anthony Luna was shot dead as he ran from the scene. Michael and Armando.
I'm so lost. I couldn't catch it. So the 4-man hit squad went to the house to kill the rat. The rat was there with his brother. They started arguing with the hit squad about who the president is and about the green light. And the new president, which is that fat dude with the glasses, took out the strap and started bucking. The rat and his brother died. Right? Oh shit.
Who from 7th Street were also shot and seriously wounded as they tried to flee the scene. Gilbert Argudo was killed to avoid retaliation for his brother, and the Luna brothers were killed because of their loyalty to Johnny Argudo. Froilan also said he couldn't leave any witnesses. Gilbert and Johnny each had a gun in their waistband. Neither gun had been fired. Froilan fled to Mexico. Luis Mendoza, Lorenzo, and John Ramirez were arrested.
Alright, I get it now. So they killed the rat, they killed his brother so the brother wouldn't come back to get it, and they killed 2 other guys that were very loyal to the rat. Alright, I get it.
John cooperated with authorities.
Damn.
Froilan fled to Mexico. Luis Mendoza, Lorenzo, and John Ramirez were arrested. John cooperated with authorities and served 12 years in prison for manslaughter.
Bro, what the fuck? They killed a guy for ratting and then you... Wow. So you go and you kill a guy because he ratted. And then you go and get caught and rat too? The game is fucked up, homie. Did I hear that right?
Froilan fled to Mexico. Luis Mendoza, Lorenzo, and John Ramirez were arrested. John cooperated with authorities and served 12 years in prison for manslaughter. Luis and Lorenzo were tried, convicted, and sentenced to death. In 2011, Froilan was extradited from Mexico and charged with 4 counts of murder and 2 counts of attempted murder. Froilan was ultimately convicted for the quadruple homicide and sentenced to 4 consecutive life terms.
Wow.
The Verdugo gang is also known for their animosity towards LA gangs who relocate to San Bernardino, such as Florencia 13. On April 20th, 2005.
Florencia 13? No, I think he meant Eastside 13. There was Florencia in San Bernardino for a very long time. But it's well known and documented that San Bernardino did not like food from LA, number 1. And number 2, they would really go at it with the Eastside 13s. You know. But let's go. Let's see what happens.
Two members of Eastside Verdugo shot and killed a member of Florencia 13 named Ramirez. He was killed shortly after moving into an apartment complex located on Fairfax Drive. This area is dominated by the Eastside Verdugo Dwight Way gang. The Verdugo member slapped Ramirez and told him that he didn't belong before opening fire on him. Ramirez had been struck by 3 bullets.
Fairfax Drive, that's where Danger from Brownside was killed on. But Fairfax Drive, there's a bunch of Fairfax Drives in San Bernardino. Let's go.
One of which penetrated his heart and lungs. The Verdugo gang is also hostile with a few other LA-based gangs. However, their main arch nemesis is Eastside Trece.
There you go.
Eastside Trece originated in the Low Bottoms area of Los Angeles. In the early 90s, they set up shop in San Bernardino. This stirred up a bunch of rift among the already established gangs in the area, especially the Verdugo gang, who did not give them a warm welcome. Eastside Trece would go on to recruit many IE natives to their hood.
Yup.
A bloody war kicked off between Verdugo and Eastside Trece that resulted in dozens of murders and shootings. One of the alleged casualties from that war was Danger from Brownside.
There you go.
In 1996, Danger was in his car on a side street on Mount Vernon in Colton. He was waiting on a female to come outside when allegedly some Verdugo members drove by and opened fire. Danger was shot in the head several times and died as a result of the shooting. The Verdugo gang has also had beef with the Magnolia State Bloods. Their territory stretches from 16th Street to Baseline, between California Street and Medical Center Drive. In the afternoon of June 21st, 2006, James and 3 of his friends were sitting on the bleachers at a local school. They were sipping on a bottle of V&J and smoking on some Black & Milds. All 4 of the boys remember.
That shit don't happen no more. Motherfuckers used to go to the school to sit down, play some ball. You know, not even sometimes. Just go and smoke and kick it. That shit don't happen no more. You can't jump the gates of the school. Man, the whole SWAT team will arrive.
Members of the Magnolia State gang. Shortly after James and his friends arrived at the school, a group of 11 young men, mostly Hispanic, arrived at the school to play basketball. James then approached the group with a classic gang-type greeting and asked where they was from. James said that a few of the boys looked like possible gang members by the way they acted and the clothing they wore. James stated that the boy in a black tank top concerned him, so he specifically asked that boy if he was from Westside Verdugo. The answer was no, but the boy added that one of the other teams that was with James knew his brother. With the possible confrontation over, James turned around to walk back toward the bleachers when he heard someone yell out, "Hey blood, watch out!" 2 friends on the bleachers appeared to look past James toward the basketball courts. Without turning back to the group playing basketball, James pulled out a gun from his waistband, held it at his side, and fired behind him at the boys. 11-year-old Anthony Ramirez was struck in the back by one of the bullets and died shortly after. Another youth was hit in the hand by one of the bullets. James testified in detail about his childhood, growing up mostly without his father and with a mother who was gone frequently and used drugs. James survived on the streets of his neighborhood. He fed himself with his mother's food stamp card. At 9 years old, James was jumped into the Magnolia State Bloods. He's been shot at once in the arm, shot at 10 to 20 times, and attacked 25 to 50 times. At 14, James saw his first fatal shooting, and at 15...
Why is everyone testifying? Why is everyone testifying?
He saw a good friend of his shot and killed. He was 15 years old at the time of the basketball court shooting. The defense called a neuropsychologist who testified that James had an IQ score of 79 and that he suffered from PTSD. James was ultimately convicted of second-degree murder and 10 counts of assault with a firearm. He was sentenced to 107 years to life.
Wow.
On October 22nd,
107 years.
At around 10 p.m., Byron and Bobby were standing at a bus stop at 5th Street and Arrowhead Avenue. A vehicle then passed by the 2 men, staring hard. The vehicle then made a right on 6th Street, and Byron lost sight of it. The next time Byron saw the vehicle, it had pulled into the parking lot behind the bus stop. The driver and front passenger door opened, and 2 occupants got out. The driver was wearing black clothing and a hooded sweatshirt with the hood up.
Damn.
The driver was described as about 6'1", 400 pounds, with a shaved head and a goatee.
6'1", 400 pounds. God damn. LA icon. Fuck you doing in San Bernardino, bro? fuck you doing in San Bernardino, bro?
As the driver approached, Byron thought there was going to be some type of altercation at the very least because he did not know the driver.
Boom.
When the driver was about 4 feet away, he said, "What's cracking, fool?" The driver then pulled out a gun from his right pocket and began shooting. The first shot was at Byron's head, but he turned and ran, calling out for Bobby to do the same. As he zigzagged, a bullet struck his lower back and exited from his side. Another bullet struck his elbow and went out through his forearm. Bobby died from gunshot wounds to his chest and abdomen. An officer responded to a report of shots fired and found Byron lying near a sidewalk on D Street. Byron was hysterical and worried about Bobby's whereabouts. Byron gave the officer a description of the shooter and vehicle. At around 11.
So far, everyone has been a rat. Bro, what the fuck? Let there be one guy that does not rap, please.
11:23 p.m., an officer spotted the described vehicle traveling west on 5th Street near Mount Vernon. The officer activated his lights and conducted a traffic stop. Carlos was the driver and Chaya was in the passenger seat. No weapons were found on either man. Another officer brought a witness to the scene of the traffic stop. They brought Ernestina, who had seen the shooting from inside her apartment. After Ernestina said that Carlos and Chaya were not the two men that she saw, Carlos was cited for possession of marijuana and released. The morning after the shooting, following Byron's release from the hospital, Byron identified Carlos as the shooter. Carlos turned himself in 8 days after the murder. Carlos Lopez, from Westside Verdugo, was ultimately convicted of first-degree murder. He was sentenced to 90 years to life.
90.
Westside Verdugo is no stranger to internal conflict. On January 18th,
90 years to life. You know, I got a homeboy, right? Give me my first tattoo across my chest, right? Right. My hood. Back in 2001, maybe. That fool's still in prison right now. Carjacking and murder or something like that, right? And I always felt like people that go to jail like that are stuck in that time zone. That fool is stuck in 2001. You know, for what he did in that 5 minutes of impulse, cost him his entire life. Like, we all moved on and did things right. Got married, had kids, got jobs, whatever it might be. And he's stuck in 2001. In his mind, everything outside is still the same as he went in. The homies, this, that, whoop-de-whoop, but it's not. It's not. He will forever be stuck in 2001. And these guys right here, 80 years for some he did in 5 minutes.
2017, shots were fired on the 1600 block of Mount Vernon Avenue. When the police arrived, they found a middle-aged woman lying on the ground in a parking lot with several gunshot wounds. She was transported to a local hospital where she later died. She was identified as Carmen Rodriguez, the wife of a Mexican mafia member named Andrew Rodriguez, who was at the time in custody at Pelican Bay Prison. Andrew Rodriguez was a member of the Westside Verdugo gang before being inducted into the Mexican mafia while in prison. He was serving 115 years to life for a 3-strike armed robbery sentence. Andrew Rodriguez died 3 months after his wife's murder. Following the murder of Carmen Rodriguez, a task force was created by the San Bernardino homicide unit. The purpose of this task force was to target.
Damn, a lot of these fools look young. Young right here, young right here, young right here. We got a mixture. 1, 2, 3. Damn, this kinda looks beat up.
Gang members in prison, whom were attempting to influence the local street gangs in San Bernardino. The effort was named Operation Green Hand. During the investigation, 86 arrests were made for various weapons, conspiracy,
86.
auto theft, and narcotic charges. Evidence was also gathered to solve the murder of Carmen Rodriguez. In July 2018, 5 Verdugo members were charged for the murder of Carmen Rodriguez. 3 out of the 5 were in custody in California state prisons, when the murder was planned and carried out. One of the 5 gang members, Eric Moreno, was killed just days later in a cell.
Wow.
On December 10th, 2021.
You know why they killed him, right? Because he had part of the killing of the wife of a made man. It's a hectic game. It's hectic, bro.
Authorities announced the takedown of the Verdugo gang that included 180 arrests.
Wow, 180.
The crackdown also helped detectives solve 2 homicides. The 180 people arrested included 120 convicted felons, 40 of which were on probation and 12 on parole. Detectives shut down 30 gambling sites, including some linked to 5 homicides. 100 gambling machines and devices were seized.
Those are called nets. N-E-T-S, the net. They're big. They're big everywhere now. Like little spots you go to, and there's a bunch of computers and you can gamble. They're always, the Juras are always taking them down, but they're back up within an hour, 2 hours, you know.
Authorities say they also seized 92 handguns and 19 assault weapons, and nearly $300,000 in cash and hundreds of pounds of narcotics. I'd like to thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.
Oh shit, look at this guy. Hey, salute my boy. Sipping on that Thunderbird bottle. That's the homie right there. Damn. I'm gonna send him this clip. That's Big Joe, baby. Go look him up. Big Joe on YouTube. Sipping on that Thunderbird bottle. That's Macy Street right there. Salute. Big Joe. Listen. Hey, he a real motherfucker. He a real motherfucker right there, bro. Alright, check this out. We're gonna kill this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Salute to Big Joe. Make sure you guys comment down below, like and subscribe. Tell me who you want to see next. You know, San Bernardino is ruthless. They are ruthless. It is ghetto in San Bernardino. You know. So let me know what you guys want to see next, and then we'll react to that. Other than that, you guys already know it's been a Blue Devil reaction, and we out.
Blue Devil gang, 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 gang.